How's about a big hug for your old pal Murray? Huh?
What is that Bagginses?
Welcome, Paisan. It's been a dog's age.
Batman, darling.
Call me Snake.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, The Bad and The Odd with your host Mark and Sam. Today we'll be telling you what we've been up to since last time. We have a top 5 movie characters we want in further adventures, and we're going to discuss the movie The Evil Dead.
Get the comfy chair!
Hi Sam.
Hey.
Okay, what's been up to? It's not been that long since we recorded the last one, actually. So, what have you been up to since last time?
I played through Fears 1 and 3.
Oh, you have been busy then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I had some free time on my hands.
yeah.
But,
So, did you? Were they good?
yeah, Fear 1 still holds up. It's a pretty good game. It's got probably one of the best sort of bullet time effects.
Okay,
I've
is
seen.
it a survival horror or something, or what?
No, it's a first-person shooter with quite heavy horror elements.
And this one's Xbox, isn't it?
Yes.
But
It
it's
was
on-
originally PC, but it was kind of ported to Xbox.
A good port, is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Admittedly, it's from quite a while ago, so it looks kind of like Half-Life 1.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but it's still good. It's still very scary at points.
Well, that's cool. Okay, what one? Which was the best one of the 3?
Well, I prefer playing Fear 2.
Yeah.
Fear 1, I'd say, has the better story, but Fear 3 is the scariest by far.
What sort of time is it? Like a couple of years between each, or something? I presume the graphics of the first one are pretty.
There was a few years between the production of each, but story-wise, in game,
Yeah.
the first two are. In the second one, you start off like a few minutes before the end of the first one.
Right.
Because like there's a huge explosion.
Oh, I see.
at the
So it's
end of the
crossover.
first
It's a
one.
direct sequel, then. Is that what you mean?
Kind of,
Right.
but you don't play as the same
Direct,
characters.
a direct
There's
sidequel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably closest. Fear 3 is more of the sequel.
Okay. Which one did you enjoy the most, though?
Fear 3, I have to say, because I hadn't played through that before.
You you did talk to me about it off the podcast, and you said it was kind of quite a bit scarier than the first 2.
Yeah, because the first 2, all the scare sequences are kind of scripted.
Yeah.
In the third one, they sort of randomize it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you'll see Alma, which is this creepy little ghost girl, just
Yeah.
like appear behind a window and then disappear.
Right.
And if you die and go back, she won't be there.
So there's.
And you like spend a minute wondering if she's going to pop up, just looking around, and then you finally sort of settle down. And you turn around, she's there.
Yeah. So at any point you could get this little girl in your face.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
half the
that
time
sounds
she's
like the
not a
sort of
little
game I
girl.
hate.
Because
It just scared me.
in Fear 3, that's the point.
Yeah,
In
I know.
Fear 3, during the event, she's not really a little girl.
Yeah.
Let's see. She's actually a full-grown woman. She's dead,
Right.
kind of. She's how can I explain this? When she was discovered to have massive psychic powers as a kid,
Yeah.
this government organisation, which included her father, took her in and started something called Project Origin.
Right.
And they used her to... It's Wayland Yutani, really. They tried to weaponize her.
Right.
And they developed these things called replicas from her, which are it's a clone army.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be like 2,000 in total, and they're like expert soldiers. They've got faster reflexes. They could resist firepower.
So sorry, are they cloned off of her? I'm not.
No, the stuff that she could do, the what they can do is based on.
Okay, I see. All right.
And then it gets really kind of twisted, because at 15 they impregnated her,
Right.
made her give birth to a kid,
Yeah.
and they kept this... You find out in Fear 3, they kept this kid till he was about 10.
Yeah.
A year after they made her give birth to the first kid, they made her give birth to another kid. They kept them both till they were about 10. So
These are 18s, are
yeah,
they?
they're 18 games.
Okay, yeah. It's just I thought they were 15s. It sounded quite grim for a 15.
It is really grim. Like it gets bizarre because one shows really powerful psychic capabilities, but the other is really powerful physically.
Wow, right.
And so they kind of start disregarding the one that is the physical aspect.
Yeah.
And spoiler: in the first one, you find out you are the one that was the physical aspect.
Oh, okay.
And you spend most of the game hunting this guy that was the psychic aspect.
Right.
Because
Who's your brother?
yeah, he's your brother. You
Right.
find out at the end, and he's done this thing called a synchronicity event
Right.
with Alma, where they kind of merged minds. This is all to build up why I'm
Right, this
not
is
sure
still
if
the
he's
first
dead.
one, is it?
This is backstory to the first one.
Backstory. Oh, blimey. Okay, so are they fun to play? What? I mean,
Yeah, it's really fun to play
it's
as.
tense, though, is it?
I was explaining all that to trying to explain why I'm not sure whether Alma's alive or dead.
Okay, all right.
Because in the first one, it's clearly stated she's dead.
Right.
She's been like dead for... Because they killed her just after this synchronicity event. They pulled the plug on this thing called the vault that she was sealed in,
Okay.
which was a sealed environment. She couldn't breathe or anything. She just died. But in the second one, spoiler, she gets pregnant.
What? What? But she's dead?
She's dead, but she
I'm
gets
very
pregnant.
confused. Oh, I see. Her ghost is pregnant. Is that what you mean?
I'm not.
Well, let's not get bogged down in the details. I mean,
I'm not sure because in the first one, they like pull her body out of this thing called the vault, which is the thing that they put her in,
Yeah.
and she gets up and starts walking about. But you've been seeing her as a ghost, and there's no life signs from her. She's just like a walking corpse, kind of like a zombie, but.
So is it a shooter? Is it
It's
is
a
it
first-person shooter.
Problem solving, or is it just a shooter?
There's a bit of puzzling, which
But
it's
so
supposed to like
first
push
person-
this button and then shoot those objects before the door closes.
Okay, so it's what you're walking around in the dark a lot, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. See,
Look,
yeah,
You've
you
got
like
a
those sort of
torch.
games.
You've got a torch. It's a very good torch until Alma appears,
Right?
and then the torch mysteriously starts flickering.
Right. I'm not a fan of these games, but is it kind of like Alan Wake or something? I'm trying to figure out.
Not really. It's
Right.
it's kind of got a big contrast between its shooter sections and its scary sections.
Are they cutscenes or is it just?
No.
Okay.
You're still walking around and playing through them, but usually like the enemies completely switch out. Like you'll be
Right.
fighting these replicas,
Right.
and then it will sort of stop. And, you just sort of know it's like this is going to be terrifying.
Replicas of what?
Those clone soldiers I was
Oh, I
talking
see.
about.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Which one do you like best?
3, I'd say, because it's more violent. And
It's a bit scarier. Yeah, from what you said. Okay.
There's
cool.
a bit in it where you have to pilot this big mech. It's honestly one of the best mech sort of simulations I've ever done.
Right. You fighting it? Did you
Yeah.
say? Right.
You have to get in this big mech and like go across this long bridge.
Oh, I see.
And it's
Oh,
brilliant.
you get in it? Oh, it's a bit. The only game I can think of where you do something like that is the old Xbox Futurama game where you have to get inside the big robot and walk
Chicken.
around. The town. Big robot chicken, isn't it? Yeah, that's the only one I can think of that does that. Oh, okay, cool. I haven't been doing much gaming. Any other games this week, or the TV shows or anything?
I tried to get back into Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, okay, that's a really good game. I already
Yeah,
know.
the gameplay is really good, but the story is just so hard to keep on.
Yeah, there are some really quite terrible tasks as well, like rounding out cattle.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I don't.
But bits of it are really good.
The thing about that game is all the situations are. What you have to do is very vague. Because
I kind of like
the level you mentioned,
yeah,
where you have to round up cattle, I stood like in front of those cattle. I was like shot my gun up in the air to try and stop them moving, and they just ran me off the cliff.
All right, I can't. It's been. I have played Red Dead Redemption completely through, and the zombie add-on. It was a complete game in itself. Was it Undead Nightmares? And I kind of liked it. Apart from the odd mission is a bit flat. Either you're quite right. You don't know what you're supposed to really do, or they're just boring. But that's only like 3% of the whole game, I'd say. The rest of it is pretty darn good. I like the slow time gunfighting stuff. Oh yeah, and being dead. And,
I agree with you. There are really good missions, like having to get horses out of a burning barn. That was a really good mission.
Yeah,
herding cattle isn't.
Nah, but that. Though what I remember of it, the poor ones are fairly early in the game.
Yeah,
I think they're more to ease you in. But I think a lot of people probably would have got put off by those and stopped. Actually,
it's the same with Grand Theft Auto for me. It's just the early missions are so boring.
I didn't get past the early missions in Grand Theft Auto.
Drive this guy here and then shoot these 3 people. Now drive him back.
Maybe I'd have liked Grand Theft Auto a bit more if I'd have played it a bit longer, but I didn't like the feel of it. I just thought, this seems silly. This seems like doing things for the sake of doing
Grand
things.
Grand Theft Auto 4 is one of the more serious in the series.
Yeah.
Because
you don't need serious for games like that. You want fun, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is why I think something like Borderlands 2, I think, has worked well, because it's kind of fun from the beginning. It stays fun. It's kind of cool. Okay, I'll talk about a bit of TV, actually. I watched... Charlie Brooker's had a new series out. He's got a new Newswipe, a comedy one, but he's also got a kind of serious drama set in the near future called Black Mirror. I've been watching all 3 of those. They're pretty good. I don't think you've seen it. Are you even aware of that show? Black Mirror.
No.
It's on Channel 4. On fairly late. It's like kind of... It uses technology in the stories but they're dramas. They are strict dramas. They're kind of like the Twilight Zone, where technology's the thing providing the twist rather than supernatural stuff. I'll give you an example. One of the stories is about a woman whose boyfriend or husband dies, but someone posts her a link to this software that can go through his entire internet history and work out what his personality is like, get his voice sample, and it can like mimic him really well. And she starts talking to it on the phone, and it develops from there, and it seems to be like him. And it's a really good story, and it's done free like that. And I think Charlie Brooker wrote all of them, and they're really well constructed. I really like those. I'd recommend those. I've also been watching some films. You watched any TV or is it games or anything else?
Games, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. And what else apart from Fear? Anything else?
I played a bit of Terraria, but I've spoken about it on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a PC, isn't it? Okay, well, I watched a few films. I'll just rattle through these. In fact, one we watched together today, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah,
that was pretty good, wasn't it? Yeah. Good animation. Best animation I've seen, I personally have seen since I think we saw Princess and the Frog around Christmas time. I really enjoyed that too. Yeah. I mean, that's an old film. Wreck-It Ralph's only just out. Pretty good film. Good film. I mean, it wasn't up there with the greats, like Toy Story and stuff, but it was pretty darn well constructed. Bits of it, they were riffing on other films too, weren't they? There was an Iron Giant-y kind of bit, and it was kind of nice to see all the retro games represented. Because it was about a guy that's in an arcade game, a bit like Donkey Kong, and he wants to be a good guy rather than a bad guy. But there's also there's lots of characters in it from old 80s and 90s arcade games like Pac-Man. What else was there? Pac-Man, Sonic,
Pac-Man,
Cubert, things like that. It's kind
Street
of fun.
Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
The bad guy from Mario Brothers. I can't remember his name.
Bowser.
Is it Bowser?
Yeah.
I thought it was Professor something.
No, that's Sonic, Professor Eggman.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, him, not Mario. It was kind of good. I'd give that one 72 out of 100. What would you give it?
79 at least.
You really liked it, yeah? I think 79 is closer to its IMDb score, so you're more in touch with that than me. I also watched a spaghetti western called My Name Is Nobody, a kind of comedy spaghetti western with Terence Hill, who played Trinity in the Trinity films, and Henry Fonda, and it's basically Terence Hill, who plays Trinity, is like a hero worships Henry Fonda, who's like an old gunslinger, who's like an infamous gunslinger, and basically he manoeuvres him in such a way that this one guy has to gunfight 150 men from the Wild Bunch at the end, and it was alright. It was a comedy, but it wasn't that funny, but it was okay. And I was kind of enjoying it, but I said, this seems to be a bit overrated to me, I've heard about. But actually, the last 10 minutes are really good. And I don't mean the gunfight. I mean, after the gunfight, is really. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but I really enjoyed it actually by the end, and I'd give that 68 out of 100. And there was Sergio Leone produced it, but there was definitely influences of Sergio Leone throughout this film. I'm sure he directed some bits of it, and there was definitely music from some of his other films. There was Frank's theme from Once Upon a Time in the West was used in it now and again. I really liked it. I watched a cheesy horror film called Leprechaun from the 80s or early 90s. I only really want to see this because I really like Warwick Davis, and he talked about it in his autobiography, which I read recently. And he was really good. He brought a lot of energy to it. It wasn't scary. It was kind of silly, frankly. Jennifer Aniston was
Leprechaun.
Yeah, well, all right. Jennifer Aniston was the lead in it, and she was really. You could see she was going to go on to better things. She really came across well in it. In what is basically a second-rate horror film, and Warwick Davis was giving it his all as well. It was kind of fun. It just wasn't scary at all. Having said that, I would only give it 44 out of 100. And then I watched a film called Hamlet 2. How about that? Heard of this one?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Steve Coogan plays like this American drama teacher who wants to put on a show, and he decides to go large and do a sequel to Hamlet. He hates the unhappy ending at Hamlet when everyone dies, and he creates a story involving a time machine, going back and saving people in Hamlet. It's kind of fun. It was a comedy. It was kind of fun. There was the production he put at the end was kind of funny, made me laugh. There was a song in it called "Rock Me Sexy Jesus." Jesus was a character in all of this as well. I kind of thought it was alright. It wasn't great, but it was alright. So those are films I've watched since last time. Alright then, let's move on to our number 5 is Alive.
Number 5 is Alive.
We're going to talk about characters we would like to see in further adventures. Okay, do you want to start this off or shall I?
Yeah, I'll start this off.
Go on then.
Number 5 is Ghost from Modern Warfare 2. Now, about midway through the
Hold on. Okay, so we're talking games here as well.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So tell us I don't know who Ghost is, so tell me who
Ghost is. He's one of the soldiers that you work with on this I think it's an anti-terrorist task force.
Yeah.
Called Task Force 141.
Yeah.
And he sort of stands out from the rest. That there are others, but everyone remembers the 3 main characters is Ghost, Captain Price, and Soap McTavish.
Yeah, I don't remember Ghost. I remember the other 2 though.
Ghost, he stands out quite a lot because he's got like a ski mask with a skull on it.
Okay.
It covers his face all
Sounds
all
a bit
the time.
bangly to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
It's kind of implied that he's done like far greater things than what's currently going on.
He's been involved in big, important things, right? Okay.
Far more important.
So you'd like to see
He's kind
those.
of the torture guy for the team.
Oh, great.
There's a bit they need to get information. It like cuts to black, and then it cuts back, and
he's got the information.
You see Soap has got like there's sort of metal closing doors in front of shops in malls. He's holding one of those up, and he's talking to the rest of the team. And behind him, Ghost is like got a car battery rigged up to huge crocodile clips. And he's like rubbing them together while this guy's sitting next to him. And then Soap finishes and starts to close the door, and you see him start to walk over to the guy.
Right. And you'd like to see more adventures like this. This is a bit worrying, frankly.
No. Not the torture bit.
Oh, okay.
It's just there was also a comic for Ghost. It was either a comic or a story for Ghost, and apparently it was really good.
Yeah,
but it built on why he is the way he is. Really.
Okay, that sounds like much more potential. I often think it's I mean, you do get from films, don't you? Sometimes comics develop out of films, and it works quite well. I think comics are like quite a good extension out of films, actually. Yeah, that sounds cool. Right, yeah, that's fair enough. My number 5 is all of mine are movies, by the way. None of mine are anything other than movies. My number 5 is I'd like to see. This would have to be a prequel by its definition. I'd like to see the adventures, some more adventures involving the colonial marines in Aliens. I'd like to see what Hicks and Hudson and so on got up to before they arrived on, what was it, LV 232. I'd like to see some of their adventures. I mean, they do talk about, there's not another bug hunt. Like, they've done things involving hunting aliens before.
Perhaps there's some
different aliens, but say again.
I was going to say perhaps there's some other species of.
Yeah. It must be different ones because they obviously don't know how to handle these ones at all. I'd just like to see these guys. Funny enough, we just talked about comic books. There's I think a lot. Dark Horse has done lots of adventures. No, actually, I think I'm wrong here. Dark Horse has done lots of adventures spinning off the alien. They've got their own like alien universe that's separate from the film universe, as it were. It spawned from the film universe, but it's gone off on its own tangents. And I think there's some marine stuff in that, possibly.
I'd like to see more of Vasquez.
Yeah, Vasquez is another one, yes, absolutely. The whole troop. I'd like to see the whole troop. Obviously, in the film, the lieutenant's new to them, isn't he? But otherwise, they seem to be a coherent troop.
Yeah, they're all friends.
Yeah, in some respects, I kind of think maybe a film like... there's a film series called Starship Troopers, which is another one involving a well-trained, like, marine, infantry force fighting alien bugs. And it's almost like that might be kind of a prequel to this. It's a different universe, though, so it's not quite the same. But it's the same vibe. Okay, your number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is Kratos from God of War.
God of War. That's a PS3 game, isn't it?
PS2 and PS3.
3. Yeah, he's kind of a Conan-y character, isn't he? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But the games, they always go on about how he was such a terrible person, and he killed millions. He goes on about how brilliant he is at fighting.
Right.
And I kind of want to see how, like, why everyone in the games is scared of him, and why everyone's like, why he's got this big reputation.
Now, would you like to see that in a film format or a game format?
It would work better for a game format, because in the games, Kratos is almost always fighting.
Yeah.
There's very little story to the games.
In games, I mean, it's changing, but in games, often it's like characters are fully formed when they hit the game, and they don't actually develop as a character, do they? They are what they are at the beginning and the same at the end. But in more recent games, there's been a bit of character development. It's kind of quite cool to see someone go from like a regular guy to a complete nightmare. I'm thinking Prototype. Far Cry 3 is quite a lot like that.
Yeah.
Does it quite well. Is that the sort of thing you'd like to see? Or
him
develop into it?
Because
what motivates
you find out later that he is the son of a god.
Well, that makes all the difference.
He's the son of Zeus, but... what drove him to be he's Spartan, so I guess that kind of makes sense. What made him like this great general? What put him in that position of power?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Usually people get into positions of power like that in times of war by trial, by actually being thrown into it rather than being trained to it. So that would be quite a cool game, wouldn't it, actually? Yeah. Nice one. Yes. I just wish they'd port this game to Xbox so I could play it, because I'd think I'd really like the God of War
It's made by Sony, so...
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it?
No.
Having said that, a bit of news today. I was looking up on the new PS4. They had some stuff on the internet, like clips about it, from the BBC on the show called Click that they distribute on the internet. And they're talking about basically it's a PC architecture. How about that? Sony have gone to basically a PC architecture for PS4. They think it's going to be easier to port games. So they're it's almost like another Xbox, frankly, because that's what an Xbox is. Weird, isn't it? Anyway, that's going off point. Right, it's my number 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
This one's a bit... Though I did mention all of mine were movies, this is a bit of a cheat, because this character's more from TV, but he was in a movie, so I'm going to count this. I'd like to see either not the further, but certainly the earlier adventures of Jade from Firefly. He was in the film Serenity. He's such a badass, but he's a bit stupid. He's very violent, and he's just a bit odd, isn't he? But he's funny, and I just like him as a character, and I'd like to see what he got up to in the Firefly universe before he became part of that crew. Though we do kind of see that a bit in the TV series, don't we?
Yeah.
But only really in very early days. I just think he'd be really good. I like Jane as a character, and I'd just like to see him in more stuff. What do you reckon? Would you watch that?
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'd like... Again, I think that would be quite fruitful for a comic book, actually, that kind of thing, prehistory of Firefly. They might even exist, I don't know, actually, but sometimes stuff like that does. Anyway, that's my number 4.
Okay, my number 3 is Bane.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
Prequel, obviously.
Yeah, let's be honest, we know nothing about Bane.
Yes.
Aside from that he grew up in the pit.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have very little... He goes from A to B, and we don't know anything about that journey, really, do we?
I also want to know how he found out it was Bruce Wayne behind the mask.
Okay, so
I'm curious as to if he was told, or if he figured it out.
I think, Bane's meant to be quite intelligent, isn't he?
Yeah, but let's be honest, in the film, he kind of pulled it from nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, Bruce Wayne.
Wasn't it? That was more a flaw of the writing. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing his story from pit to... I mean, I'm familiar with the story from the comic books, but I'd like to see it in film. It would be quite cool. Would you see it in a, film, TV show?
I think TV show would be better.
TV show could work quite well as a one seasoner, really. A 10-part or something like that, special.
Bane seems kind of old. He's like, because he helped raise Talia.
Talia, yes,
and she's about the same age as Bruce.
Is she? I always thought Talia was younger. In the films, in the comics, she is the same age. But I always thought in the films she was specifically quite a bit younger. But I could be wrong there. Yeah, that's interesting. Good point. I never occurred to me. Yeah, so really, if you start thinking about it, Bane might be quite a bit older than Bruce Wayne, actually. And Bruce Wayne's pretty old.
Yeah.
So what's he been doing? Yeah, I like it.
They do mention that he helped take a diamond mine in the film.
Right.
That's about it for backstory that you get of him.
Cool. But I like that choice. That's I'd kind of be interested to see the same for the Joker, maybe, actually, but maybe not. I mean, one of the great things about the Joker is he comes from absolutely nowhere, and that's his point, really. Backstory doesn't work with Joker, does it? The only way it could be really cool is if you had like a 5-part series and each part was a new origin for Joker.
Yeah.
And it just shows 5 different origin stories. Because that'd suit the Joker. And, as far as the Joker's concerned, they'd all be true.
Every one of them just starts out with, "Want to know how I got these scars?"
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, you done with Bane?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 is a pretty straightforward one. It's just a film I loved, and I was expecting to see more of them, and they never brought any out. And it's a film from the 80s, Remo, Unarmed and Dangerous. Remo and Chun, his martial arts master. I just would like to have seen more adventures with these guys. And I like Fred Ward when he was Remo, and I like the guy that played Chun. I would like to have seen those two do it. A few more of those films. It's kind of a cheap spy film, you know. It was almost like a TV movie, but it was fun and I liked it, and I would like to have seen more. I think it might even be worth a remake. This one, actually, Remo. I think it could kind of work in the right hands. I think Joss Whedon actually would do quite a good job on this, because he kind of hit the right jokey stride with the Avengers, you know. So it kind of worked for me. I mean, we talked about Remo last time, didn't we? So we won't retread that. Okay, your number 2.
My number 2, this is going to be kind of weird. It's Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
Okay. Again, a well-developed character, isn't it?
Yeah, you develop it. You help develop your character through the games, but at the start of the first game, you can pick the backstory for your character, but all of them have sound pretty serious, but are just kind of brushed off.
Yeah.
Like, you pick sort of 2 sections of your backstory. You pick your personal history and your military history.
Yeah.
Your personal history, you can either be born on a spaceship or space station.
Yeah.
Born on Earth or born on one of the colonies.
Right.
If you're born on a ship, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Really. That's the entire thing of it. For the Earthborn, you're part of a street gang.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. Yes.
Colonist, which is the one I choose always.
Yeah.
Your colony got attacked by slavers.
Right. And Shepard's got that backstory, has he?
Yeah. The military histories are even worse. There's again 3. There's the sole survivor, the war hero, and ruthless.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what would you see it? Something you'd like to see him as like a kid outwards, or a bit older than that?
Yeah, kind of, because
so the street urchin-y growing.
Yeah, some of them do specify ages. It's like for the Earthborn, it says you kind of got out of there when you were 18.
Right.
And the colonist one is that when you were 16, the slavers attacked.
Okay, so that whole story could be like a freedom fighting story, or it could be a survival up through the ranks of not criminals, but certainly an underclass. There's lots of variants that could be working there, or all of them could be working. That could be pretty cool. What, as a game are we talking again? Film? Or?
Yeah, I can see it as a game, but I can see the Earthborn as a film, but the Colonist as a game.
Yeah, these would also work out quite well as comic book series as well, wouldn't they? I suppose.
The one I was really sort of thinking of was for the military history is it's the Sole Survivor. I mentioned it just now. The premise of that is that your entire, you were in command of this unit, and the entire unit just got wiped out by these huge monsters called Thresher Maws.
Oh, right.
Which, imagine a centipede with crab claws and the ability to spit acid, and then make it as big as Godzilla.
How would you survive that? By luck?
Yeah, it kind of implies that what your character basically did was hide.
Yeah.
Try to keep as many of you guys alive and hide.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, that sounds cool. All right, is it? That was your number 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My number 2's. Mine's Indiana Jones. Now, there's been lots of other adventures of Indiana Jones. There's Young Indiana Jones. I like the first 3 Indiana Jones. I don't like the... I can't even remember what it's called. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull one. Because I think Indy works best when he's dealing with supernatural stroke religious themes rather than aliens, frankly. I always wanted to see an adventure with Indy involving some sort of voodoo cult, or voodoo gods, or Baron Samedi kind of stuff. I guess I'm mixing up Indy here with Live and Let Die, but I thought that would have made a much better adventure. I'm a big fan of Raiders. Is definitely to me the best.
I think Indiana Jones more sort of fits ancient religions.
Well, yeah,
Voodoo's kind of a more recent.
but it's got a real earthy, demonic vibe to it that would work well with indie films. I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah, so he did like Indian religions, didn't it? Well, kind of Hindu. It was a bit vague, and he's done Judeo-Christian stuff twice. And in my opinion,
and he kind of went into Aztec mythology in the fourth
one. But then he went to aliens. Yeah. I always, my favourite of the three is definitely Raiders, but to me, indie films got progressively worse. I like the first one first, the second one second, the third one first. Well, have you got any opinion on it? And the fourth one, I think we all can agree that's definitely the worst of the four. How do you feel about the order? Do you like Raiders best? Or?
I like Temple of Doom best.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is like taking indie to what Spielberg really described it in the first place. You know, Saturday morning pictures, kind of adventure stories. I always felt that 3 was kind of a bit of a rip-off of 1, actually, but not like an inferior version of 1. Whereas 2 was distinctive in its own thing and kind of fun and ridiculous, but a lot of cool stuff.
I liked 1 up until the very end. You know, where they wheel the Ark of the Covenant into that warehouse.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't like that?
It kind of... It's like, well, that made it seem like he does this sort of stuff every weekend.
Well, no, it wasn't his warehouse. It was the American government's warehouse, wasn't it? He didn't know where it was. One thing that always makes me laugh about Raiders is the fact that if Indy hadn't have even been there, if he hadn't have got on the submarine, hadn't have done any of that stuff, the Nazis would have died anyway. He had absolutely no bearing on the ending. In that case, he might have saved Marion. You know, that would have been the difference. But Marion wouldn't have been there without Indy. Yeah, that's true. But the fact is, God was the one who beat the Nazis at the end. It wasn't Indy. It's kind of cool when you think it through. But I wouldn't change it for a fig. No. Anyway, that was my idea. I would have liked to have seen Indy do something with something like voodoo. Anyway.
Okay.
Number 1's your go.
My number 1 is Aragorn, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's a really good one, Sam. Oh, nice one.
Because it's kind of a combination split between him and his dad.
Yeah, Arathorn. Yeah.
Well, what I do know about Arathorn, he's incredibly badass. But what I know about the sort of, I don't know how to describe it, expanded backstory of Aragorn, because this is kind of Games Workshop stuff.
It's not Tolkien.
I think it might be. It's licensed by the Tolkien company.
Yeah, the thing is, Tolkien wrote a load, so it might well be Tolkien for all we know.
Yeah, but basically, Aragorn wandered into the ruins of Arnor and killed a demon on his own.
Oh, that would be really cool.
He just rocked into that and killed this thing that drains the life out of creatures.
Yeah,
enslaves their spirits.
I'd definitely go and see that film or that TV show or read that comic.
And he beat the troll chieftain that killed his dad.
Oh, cool. Right, so there's lots of adventures of Aragorn then. Would you like them as films or TV or what?
A television series, because...
would you have Viggo in it, because he's getting a bit old now?
Yeah, Viggo...
He could still just about do it, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to replace Viggo, isn't it? I can't really think of anyone who could be a really effective Aragorn, apart from Viggo. I'll definitely watch that. In fact, I reckon you'd probably get sky-high ratings if you built that out.
Okay, the troll chieftain is actually named. It's called Burdur.
Burdur.
Bhrdur.
All right.
And the giant demon is called Gullivar.
Okay.
Terror of Arnor.
It's it's a pretty cool world. I mean, the thing with Lord of the Rings is it's like one of them worlds, universes that you could just spin so many stories out of. You could go on forever, a bit like Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
It allows itself different forms. Some of them could be kiddie friendly, and some can be more adult. And Aragorn, if they ever did anything with that, I'd prefer it'd be 18 certificate and full on, personally. Yeah. But that'd be very cool. Okay, good choice, excellent choice there. My number one is actually also, well, it's from another universe, Star Wars. And I'd like to see the adventures of Boba Fett.
That's kind of already done in books.
Well, I haven't read those books, but I prefer it in films. And what I want 18 certificate Boba Fett. I'd like to see Boba Fett through the lens of the way that Judge Dredd was done as Dredd. I want to see Boba Fett done that way in the Star Wars universe. But as a proper bounty hunter. I have a
comic from somewhere. I got it as like about 10.
Yeah, there's Boba Fett comics.
I didn't really. I reread it recently, and I was like, "Jeez." I mean, seriously, this thing is violent.
I think I'm going to have to borrow that comic.
Shoots. He gets in this massive gunfight with these load of rebels.
Yeah.
The guy's after escape, so he finds one that's still alive. His like legs blown off.
Yeah.
And he just stares at him. And this rebel's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. So Boba Fett steps on his
stump.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd like to see.
And he gets this guy, takes him to the I think it's like the head of the planet.
Yeah.
The Imperial representative.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, you'll have so much. You'll have all the money that you deserve for this." And Boba Fett just looks at this panel that the guy gives him, and the representative's off like gloating to this rebel prisoner. Boba Fett just walks up, grabs this Imperial representative by the neck, and the guy just goes, "Well, was it not enough?" And Boba Fett just pulls his hand away. He's got like this big golden necklace that the representative had on.
Yeah.
And the representative is about wetting himself.
The thing, what I don't want to see is Boba Fett as a bounty hunter, you see. Because, Boba Fett's a bad guy in the Star Wars universe, we know. But he's a bounty hunter. And in a lot of films, the bounty hunters, alright, they're not the, white-hatted hero guys, but they are the good guys, often. And I want to say...
That's not Boba Fett.
I want him to take down real badass criminals. You know what I mean? Do stuff, gunfights and stuff like that.
He's... I think in the current expanded universe, he's the head of a planet. He leads this, essentially the Spartans of the universe.
Okay,
of the Mandalorians.
Right. Okay.
That's what his armour is taken from.
I just want to see a guy riding around, taking out criminals and getting involved in hijinks. The thing that I always like, Boba Fett was about the only person, I think, in the Star Wars universe, apart from the Emperor maybe, that you felt Darth Vader was a bit cagey around.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
When Darth Vader is telling you off and it's like saying, tone it down a bit, you know something's wrong.
Yeah. Take it easy, mate. I really like Boba Fett as a character, but I don't want him chasing rebels necessarily. I want him chasing criminals. And getting involved in stuff like that, mad stuff like that. Maybe even helping out people. I don't really mind. But I want it to be very violent. I'm thinking Robert Rodriguez in his Sin City mode might be quite good in this. Or even maybe Zack Snyder in his 300... well, if someone else wrote the script, he's not great at scripts. In his 300 or... what was it called? Sucker Punch kind of mode. Arty... clever, good action stuff, but tied to a good story too. I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, I think we've kind of beaten that subject to death. Actually, have you got any honourable mentions?
No, I don't know.
I've got a few. Snake Plissken, I'd like to say. Now, I know there was another film. I'd just like to see some decent adventures with Snake Plissken, but we talked about that last week, so I won't talk about that anymore. This is kind of a wish of things to come, which is I'd like to see more adventures of Carl Urban's Dredd, one way or another. Preferably cinema, because I want them to be 18 certificate, not watered down for TV. Having said that, a lot of TV these days, especially on cable, is as strong as anything you see at the cinema. So that might well. I just would like to see that a bit.
Oh man, I just found out why Darth Vader doesn't like Boba Fett.
Why?
It's because they had a fist fight. They were both after the same thing.
Did Boba Fett win?
No, straight draw.
All right, okay.
No. Sorry, Vader ended up holding him over a magma pit and let him go.
Okay. And Boba Fett got out of that?
Yeah.
Oh, when you say let him go, do you mean took him off again?
No, Boba Fett had this thing that he needed, so he let him go on the basis that he'd get the thing that he wanted.
Oh, okay, so Boba Fett figured outsmarted him, basically.
No, they were both after this thing.
Oh, okay.
That's why they were both on the planet and both fighting.
Okay. Yes. Okay, all right then. Let's call it draw a line under that particular section, and we'll talk about how there can be only one. This is the original Evil Dead.
There can be only one.
Are you tired of film podcasts where the hosts exist in a constant blissful state of agreement?
I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
Well, you're in luck. Let me introduce you to Chinstroker and Punter. One is an ex-film student with a penchant for David Lynch and hard cinema. The other is a man on the street. Listen in perplexed and horrified terror as we tear apart one film a week.
It just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just that's the third time though. I mean, is this on?
You can find us at chinstrokerversuspunter.podomatic.com. So come and share the victory.
I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
No, it was the woods themselves. They're alive, Ashley.
I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
I don't care what happens to her. She's your girlfriend. You take care of her.
All right then, Sam. What do you think of this one?
It was okay.
Not blown away.
No.
Now you've seen 2 and Army of Darkness, haven't you?
Yeah.
But so this is like you're seeing them kind of not in the right order.
Reverse order.
So this one is definitely more primitive of the set. It's a cheap production and so on and so forth. Less experienced actors. Did you like it? Did you think it was just okay? Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you.
I preferred the second one.
Yeah.
Around the midway point, it kind of drops the pretense that they'd remain sane.
Yeah.
And just have them go nuts.
Yeah.
And be more sensible, really.
I remember seeing this film when it was not first out, but before 2 came out. And it was kind of hard to get because it was on the Video Nasty ban list for many years, which is weird when you watch it, isn't it? You think, what? But you got to understand the history of that ban list was like, basically someone took all the grindhouse and exploitation films, cut all the goriest, the most horrible bits into one long show reel, right? So the worst bits of every horror film from that era, 30 seconds from each, into one huge show reel, an hour show reel or something like that, full of blood and screaming and violence, showed it to a load of stuffy Tory MPs and said, look, that's what our children can see. What are you going to do about it? And they decided to ban them, right? So there's that. It's a long and silly history, right? But effectively, The Evil Dead was one of the poster boys of banned movies, which was a shame because it's a good horror film. for its time and for its budget and such like. It was effective. But it hasn't aged that well. It doesn't look as good. 2 stands out much, much better because of bigger budget, and Bruce Campbell was a much better screen presence in it.
Yeah.
And so, but all right, let's
it's
say
weird seeing Bruce Campbell in this after seeing him in 2 and 3.
Because Ash is a fairly lame character in this, isn't he? I mean, it's not. You see the seeds of what he becomes, but it's not like the Ash we know.
No.
Okay, but what did you like about it?
I liked how gory it was.
Yeah, it really went for it in places.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing for this film. It had some really good camera work. It was scary at some points.
Yeah, some of that was great camera work. We were talking about it when we were watching it. It was kind of groundbreaking, but it was basically 2 guys, a camera strapped to a board, and 2 guys running through the woods with it. But it gave it that weird gliding thing that was quite effective. Did you say you read up a bit about that, didn't you?
That was Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell running alongside each other. And during the opening bit where it's going over water, it was Bruce Campbell pushing Sam Raimi in a rubber dinghy.
Wow, I didn't know that. It looks really good though, doesn't it?
And you can kind of tell when he gets out and starts moving.
I always find it really wonderful, the fact that so many great directors spring out of cheap horror. They kind of do. Because they have to do all this stuff, they kind of know a lot of tricks about how to make films effective. The good ones, like the Sam Raimis and that. And there is scary stuff in this film too. There are. Well, I have to say, the first time I watched it, it did scare me. I was kind of quite freaked out, but rewatching it didn't feel that way. I had a feeling you didn't feel it was particularly. Bits of it were tense.
Yeah, the creepy doll girl.
Yeah, the girlfriend. In fact, what about the acting? What do you think of the acting in there?
When they became possessed, yeah, they were very good actors. But before that, they were just kind of filling like the quota.
Yeah, I think the best actors were Bruce Campbell and the woman who played his girlfriend. They were clearly better actors than the rest of them. Though, like you say, once people got possessed, it was kind of more fun, wasn't it? I do think it's funny that the girls are kind of dull until they get possessed, then they get to be much more fun because they're laughing and giggling their heads off and doing weird stuff. Some of the effects were very gory and worked quite well, and some were terrible.
Some were awful.
Yeah, they were bad.
These horrifying trees that are slowly twisting themselves.
Yeah, and apparently that. A lot of women don't like this film because that one we saw, which I always have trouble seeing this, is supposedly like a rape by tree, but it doesn't
looks
really
more like she
look
just
like
gets
that.
stabbed.
Yeah, and the fact is she's well, to be blunt, she's got her underwear on at the end of it, and she's running back through the woods, so it's hard to figure out what's going on there. But a lot of women feel it is like rape. What's being shown is rape, and it's a tree, so it's kind of freaky, but it doesn't really look like that to me. It's how you interpret, I suppose. I think how it's edited. I'm sure I've seen different edits to this where it looks much more like a rape than the cut we saw. But we saw like the latest Blu-ray, didn't we? So it wasn't a great transfer, by the way, was it? Really, it could have been a DVD, frankly.
So grainy.
I like one of the bits I really liked in this is the bit where Ash goes back to the bridge and you see the bridge twisted up, almost like fingers being twisted up.
Yeah,
that was really cool, and they do that again in Evil Dead 2 quite well.
I wouldn't say they do it again. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And some of the shots through the house I quite kind of liked. And I think some of it really worked well and some didn't. It was patchy. You can kind of see why it worked, and it doesn't quite stand up now. And I'm kind of glad we got the Evil Dead 2 to show us how great Sam Raimi could be given a budget. It was kind of cool. I mean, Sam Raimi's made some great films over the years. A lot of them kind of hark back to the Evil Dead, actually. Spider-Man 2, to me, when the arms are sort of autonomous, Dr. Octopus's arms are autonomous and looking around, they remind me of some of the stuff we see in the Evil Dead series.
Yeah,
quite strongly.
See that.
And it works really well. Would you say this is the worst of the three?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. Because 2 and 3 are kind of quite different. I find it difficult to say, well, 2's definitely better than 3 because they're different films. They're kind of 3's much more jokey than 2. 2 is jokey, but it's very gory as well, and there's some jump scares in it. Though, having said that, thinking about it, I probably still would say if I had to choose, only ever seeing one over the other, I'd probably pick 2.
Yeah.
But I do love 3. I do love 3. I really think 3's a great film. Good fun film.
The thing is, all the lines that people connect with Evil Dead are from 3.
Oh, I don't know. 2, Swallow Your Soul is quite...
Yeah, that's
2.
kind of the early one. But like, this is my boomstick.
This is my boomstick, and Groovy, and Hey She Bitch, and Listen Up You Primitive Screwheads, and all that sort of stuff. That's all. You're right. 3 does have a lot of great quotes. Not too brick. Was it Klaatu Barada? Yeah, 3's cool. Have you seen both endings of 3?
Yeah. There's the one where he's like in London somehow.
Yeah, he's a century late, isn't it?
I slept too long.
And then there's also that
there's
big
the one
gunfight.
where there's the witch somehow.
Yeah. Now that's the ending I saw at the cinema, the one with the witch at the end. So that's the only ending I knew for a while. Then I realised there was this other ending, but the other ending's a bit flat. I like the original theatrical ending. I think it's pretty cool. Okay then, so we kind of like the Evil Dead. Would you recommend it or not?
Yeah, I'd recommend it. Just to see where the Evil Dead series started.
I think it's a good trilogy, but the first one is the weakest of the 3. It's just great. It went on to spawn 2 really good films. What would you give it out of 100?
65.
A bit more generous. I'd say 74. So that puts it at about 69, which is reasonable. I don't know what it's on IMDb.
It's 76 on IMDb.
Oh right, okay. So we both rate it a little under IMDb, but I think that's a bit overrated. That score sounds a bit overrated for this particular film. I think that's more nostalgia than reality. Actually, saying that score. All right then. That's okay. I think we're about done there. All right then. Bye.
Bye.
You can visit our website on www.thegoodthebadandtheodd.com. You can email us feedback on info@thegoodthebadandtheodd.com. You can visit our Facebook page on www.facebook.com/the.good.the.bad.and.the.odd. You can leave feedback there, that'd be great, and we'll be sure to pick up any feedback you do leave. Also, if you go on iTunes and find us on iTunes, and there's a link on the website, any reviews, especially 5-star ones, will be very, very greatly appreciated so we can get on the search list.